Hey guys, I've been using the Roku streaming boxes for a number of years, but with the most recent software updates, they have made accessing and using and finding free TV a whole lot easier and a whole lot better. So what Roku's done is they've taken all the different free streaming apps and they've put them all together in a live channel guide. And this is really nice, so you don't have to be searching around from app to app or downloading different apps trying to find something to watch. So now I'm going to show you this channel guide on the Roku system. Okay guys, so if you have a up-to-date Roku box or Roku TV, this is going to look very familiar. This is the Roku homepage. If you do not have a Roku box, I will tell you how to get one a little later in this video and how to enjoy these free services. So here's the homepage. Like most people, I probably go and click directly onto my paid services. But with the recent updates, they've really improved the free services. So let me show you how to access them right now. So from the home button here, you're going to go down 2 levels and click on this channel guide. By the way, if you find this helpful, please take a second to give a like and to subscribe so I can continue providing content. I would appreciate it. So we're starting here on some movie channels. And these, again, everything on these channels is free. It's about 200 channels. I can't show you everything, but the streams are good. Some of the ones that are kind of noteworthy, we have some that are period, like these are 80s and 70s. There's a complete Western, there's a mystery channel. There's also some, like here we have some classic television. I'm just going to kind of click through quickly. Redbox has some good stuff. It's a Redbox channel. Tribeca, you know, they do more artsy movies. Stuff that might be a little bit under the radar, so I would recommend that. Movie Sphere, and I'm just going to kind of keep going just to show you the breadth of the content. Now we have a whole kids section here, a family kids section, probably about 30 channels just in that category. Moving on past the children's channels, we have a number of cooking shows, a reality TV section. We've got BBC Foods, a lot of celebrity chef kind of shows, Hell's Kitchen. And then moving past that, some DIY stuff, Tiny House Nation, This Old House Classic, Design, BBC Home. So if you're into that kind of stuff. We got some like Bride Channel, Modern Marvels coming up. So Wildlife Channel, which is pretty cool. And then we've got some Vogue Channel, Glamour, that kind of thing. And then True Crime. I mean, there are a ton of crime channels. Crime 360, First 48, that's a real cool show. True Crime, Law and Crime, Total Crime. There's probably 15, 20 channels revolving around crime. Rotten Tomatoes, which is movie reviews, People TV, Fox Soul, Wired. So then we've got some game shows, guys. If you like game shows, we got about 10 game shows here. Ice Road Truckers, some more reality Axemen, and then about 5 or 6 horror channels. So there's a horror movie section, and these are horror shows as well. Haunt Channel, can't really review any of them, but there's a bunch of those. And then here we go, probably about 30 channels in Spanish here coming up. Lots of Mexico soccer, if you like telenovelas, movies in Spanish. So there's a large section of Spanish-speaking channels. I would say probably maybe 30. So you could definitely take advantage of that. And then we get into music. So there are another about 20 or 30 music channels, everything from country, Latin, reggaeton, classic rock. And then we have periods like 80s and 90s, sound of the 70s. And here we go now with news section. Now my dad always complained if he cuts off his cable he won't have any news. Well, that's not the case now. Look at all of these news channels, and these are major news channels. We got ABC, NBC, Fox right at the front there. We've got like 3 weather channels after that, Newsy, USA, Newsmax, CBC, and then we have Yahoo Finance and Bloomberg and Reuters. So these are all good for business news, investing news, that kind of thing. And going forward, something else that's pretty interesting, you think you're not going to have any sports on free TV? Well, you're wrong again. Here we've got some of the soccer leagues. European soccer leagues, Stadium, which has wrestling and strongman kind of competitions, FTF Sports, Fubu Sports, which has a lot of fighting sports, so a lot of the fighting leagues underneath the UFC, they'll have that on here for free. So anyway, there is really a lot. We have Pac-12 here too. Now they probably don't show the current games, but it'll have like classic games from the past. Origin Sports, ACC, so that'll also have classic games on there. So it is really a lot of content, and it really has me thinking that maybe I can cut back on some of my paid services. Another thing there's a lot of is racing sports, so like here's NHRA, like drag racing, and some other motor sports as well. So it's kind of overwhelming, the number of channels. I just wanted to go through them really quickly. And in the next segment, I'm going to show you some ways you can filter out the channels or make a favorites list if you wanted to kind of bring it down to a more manageable level. So as you can see, there really are a ton of channels on here, and sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. So I'm going to show you a couple things that you can allow you to customize your channels or find free channels a little bit easier. So if you go to any of these channels in the channel guide and you press your star button on your Roku remote, it's going to give you this set of options where you can either favorite the channel, hide the channel, manage channels, filter some if you don't want your kids to watch them, and that's basically it. But the best thing you could do probably is pick out your favorite channels and put them all together, and that way you wouldn't have to take as much time looking through all the other channels to find them. If it still seems like it's too much, and it is quite a huge channel guide, another thing you can do, they've set up another way to find favorites here. Whoops, you can see how clear that stream was. If you go back to the home and just go to featured free, now here they've kind of pulled out a part of the channel guide and kind of showed you some of the highlights. So it's a lot quicker to look through certain shows and or channels that the Roku is recommending you watch. And it's still a lot to look through, but not nearly as many. Like music-wise, they have that separated out. Certain shows that are real popular. So between this, and again, everything is free, guys. Everything that I'm showing you right now. Between this and the guide, I really feel like almost anybody could find enough to watch. So another really nice feature on this new software is in the search engine, which if you go down from the home page, past the live TV to search, the search engine now does its best to find free content you might want when you put in your search queries. So I've got a few recent searches up in here. So for example, let's say you want to watch the Beverly Hillbillies. You can just go into the search bar and type it in, and it looks for it and it finds out where it is. And if it is free, they put that at the top. So as you can see, the first 2 seasons are free. And there's some later seasons that are also free as you go down the search engine. And it tells you exactly where you can find it. So that is a very nice feature. Now, everything's not free in the world. We'll click on Tombstone. This one does happen to have a free option. And as you can see, you can just click that and watch for free. Or if you want to pay for it, you can go on down further. But they always put the free option at the top, which is very nice. Now, if you pick another movie, maybe Scarface, an old classic, this one, it doesn't have a free option, so it doesn't show you a free option, but it still tells you where you can go to watch this item. So it's a pretty good search feature that will always look for the free stuff and put it on top. But even if you can't find it free, it'll tell you where to get it. So if you do have a Roku, but you're not seeing all of the featured free and the free setup the way I've shown you already on your system, it's possible you might have to update your software to the latest version. So the way you would do that is here from the home screen, you would click your remote up 1 to settings and hit enter. And then once again, you're going to click up 1 time to system. And then you're going to go over to this group of items until you go down till you get to system update. And it's actually going to show you down in the right corner when you last updated your system. You can also click on that and it will show you the software version you're running. So if it should be at least version 10.5, then you should have all of this free stuff that I've been showing you. If it's less than 10.5, click the check now. Mine's already updated, so I'm not going to do that. and see if it will update your system. If for some reason you have an older Roku or TV that is no longer being updated, you might just want to grab a new box. It'll have a lot of new features as well, and keep your software updated. Again, I'll have links for the Roku boxes down below this video. So if you don't have a Roku system and you would like to access all this free content as well as the other content that's available through Roku, I put a link below for some of the better Roku boxes. I normally recommend either the Ultra or the Ultra LT because they have quad-core processor and they have direct links to your Ethernet. So if your Wi-Fi is close enough and you can plug it direct, that's always the best way to stream if possible. I also put one streaming stick down there for Roku. It'll also give you access to all of the features, but you wouldn't have an ability to do a direct Ethernet connection, and it doesn't have quite as fast a processing system. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. Here at CashWise, we're always looking for ways to do more and live better for less money. If you have any questions about the Roku or streaming in general, please feel free to hit me up, and take a second to hit the like button and subscribe.